I am the head of visual merchandising and location strategy, and actually was one of the core team that led through the whole design process of World of Disney. So the World of Disney Reimagined is really my baby and my team's baby. Just a couple really fun things about the store. Hopefully, as we go through, we'll take a look at those things. We really wanted to be able to have a reimagined location that celebrates our history of the Disney company and who we are with Walt Disney Animation Studios and what that means to us, but also create this environment that has an element of surprise and freshness and newness, because that's also what excites us, is kind of how we are always bringing in great new product and trend, making sure that we have all of the trends right. And so as we look through the location, I can share with you kind of how some of those surprise and delight moments and how we're doing that. Fundamentally in this location, some big changes that we have. We have these idea of feature spaces. And so at theme parks merchandise, we always have something new and different. And so we've created this store to have 3 feature spaces, and this is one of them. If you think about that, it's really a sound stage for us to be able to pop in new stories as time goes by, and this is one of them with our animated box. And again, the timing, it's very subtle. It's not intended to feel like very digital, just really atmospheric, but we like this idea of movement and kinetic energy. So the other thing that you'll see is these floor projections where it has, again, like a very subtle, these are elements of surprise and delight and really bringing our product to life. So we have the ability to just like a stage, we've got the ability through projection and all of our tricks of magic to be able to update and change it up. So there's a little bit of art and science to the World of Disney. So I'll talk a little bit about the science piece, and then we'll talk about the art. So we really wanted to create an environment that was improved our shopping environment for our guests and the cast too. And one of the things is really having this great line of sight, and you guys are in the store and you notice the lighting and how beautiful this lighting that's coming in. It really starts from the outside and how we welcome our guests in through beautiful light. The other thing is we wanted to increase the sight lines because we know that as we're shopping, we want to be able to see what's where, and so you'll notice that we've increased the visibility and our shopping sight lines so they can really see across the whole store and experience it. And the other thing too is if you're together as a family, you don't feel anxiety because they're in another room and you can't see them. But also too, it makes you more welcome to actually experience the store. Art-wise too, we'll talk about these theming and story. The other thing that we've done is there's definitely some Disney surprise and delight in a lot of different ways. As we experience the store. So as you go through, you'll see those things. Our story here is, I talked about an animation studio and inspired by our Walt Disney Animation Studios and an artist loft. And so you'll see remnants and things that are inspired by that, whether it's the paintbrushes that we have on display over here, some artwork and easels. Definitely, as we go through the story, you'll see a little bit more of that, but all kind of steeped in a classic envelope, if you will. Disney style, this program is really celebrating what we love about Disney parks through merchandise, and so that's really about things that are very, postable and grammable, messaging, and really just making the park your own. A lot of food. Who doesn't love the Dole Whip, right? So you'll see some of that coming through in this Disney style section. We really know that our guests love our teas. I am one of those. And so we wanted to really create a meaningful destination for those, so where we can really explore lots of different new art and have our adult and children's product together in one location. So you can really do up your family dressing. A lot of times we don't want to match, but we want to have a theme. And so it's really great from a shopping experience to have it all pulled together so you can make those decisions. But there's some great new product and some great new art in there as well.
Hello everyone. I'm Kevin Lively from Walt Disney Imagineering. I'm with the story development team. I'm a writer, and I got to the pleasure of working on the World of Disney for the last, I don't know how long it's been. It all kind of runs together. I'm just super happy it's open now. So welcome to our space. My job with story development is to help bring stories to things that, well, let's just face it, they're pretty new. We're able to give them a cool, rich history. For instance, our World of Disney store, our newly created backstory. This is 100% fabricated. There seems to be some confusion. This space, as you know, was built around 2001 as part of California Adventure and the Downtown Disney District opening up. But on our story, this space actually dates back to about the 1930s when it was part of the Grand Californian Hotel. So in our story, the guests were able to come out of the hotel, which was in Northern California, come down here and take a scenic bus tour of the Napa Valley, Sequoias, everything along Northern California. So you'll see that with some of our old graphics up here left behind by the tour bus company. Take a scenic tour of Grand California. Bus tours are parting daily. Also in our story, the bus tours, ceased operations around 1940s-ish. And then that's when Walt Disney was trying to find a place for his animators to get out of the hustle and bustle of Los Angeles and Burbank by finding some satellite locations. So he found two in our story. He found one in Disney Springs in Florida, and he found one in Northern California here at this old bus depot. So he set up an animation studio for all his animators, including the famous 9 Old Men. So we're saying the animation team worked here for decades until about 1989. That's when we closed the doors. Why 1989? Well, because in Florida, 1989, in the real world, we opened up the Disney MGM Studios, which is now the Disney Hollywood Studios, which featured an animation studio. So you no longer needed these two satellite locations if you can have everybody working over there. So we're saying that this location was shuttered from 1989 until the opening of the store in 2001. And then when it came time for us to do this refurbishment, we started going in there and we started taking down some drywall. That's when we found all this cool brick and we found all these ghost graphics. And most importantly, we found things like the magical ink and paint jars left behind by the animation team. So the ink and paint jar, this is one of the highlights of the space. It's really neat. It comes to life every so often. We have these 5 different framed pieces. Right now, this is showing our cats and dog shows. We actually have 5 different varieties that can play on here. So we have cats and dogs, we have romance, we have silliness, we have flying, and we have cats, dogs, silliness, one more. They'll probably come to me in a second. Dancing. So the pixie dust comes to life, it'll awaken the artwork, and then once all of them have shown, they'll cycle out to a new show. It's really fantastic. Our special effects team really knocked it out of the park. We also have, again, those pencil sketches that come to life. Those will also cycle out with different shows, giving you lots of different variety, as well as the movie posters. The Disney Springs location, rather than it being an old bus depot, they're actually in a produce annex for the Disney Springs market, because it's located right next to the marketplace there. The same idea, Walt sent out his animators, and they have all that animation leading up till about 1989. Now, the latest things you'll see on the walls are from Beauty and the Beast, because that would have started production around that time. That was partially done in a selfish move by me as a Disney geek. I like some of the things that don't normally get as much love, like Robin Hood or Sword in the Stone. So this is a way we can bring in things. We even have a tab down here for the Black Cauldron on one of these drawers. So we really brought out everything, giving it some love, which is fantastic. So what they did is they found the actual studio furniture, and they replicated it to fit their needs and adapted it. So this is really close to the Kem Weber stuff. That was actually found in the studios. So they did a lot of research in trying to nail this look. You also see some of the fixtures have that Kem Weber look. The ones right over there behind Marianne have that mid-century look that is. Try to buy it now and it's super expensive.
Yeah.
But everybody wants it in their house. But those are all custom, brand new fixtures that we're saying that we found in this space left behind from the animators. It's really neat though, because the animators, including the 9 Old Men, have their own desks here. And so, just like in real life, the guys would draw on their furniture, because apparently Disney, we don't follow the rules, so we draw on our furniture. They still do that like on the animation desks for like figure animations. But like this, for example, is our Mark Davis desk. Mark Davis is important to us because he's one of the 9 old men who crossed over to the world of Walt Disney Imagineering. He was the man behind a lot of the humor in the Jungle Cruise, the humor of the Haunted Mansion, and Pirates of the Caribbean as well. So in addition to his trademark characters, including Aurora, Alice, we have artwork from the Haunted Mansion, Jungle Cruise, and Pirates of the Caribbean mixed in here. So we wanted to make sure we got some Disneyland stuff in here as well. Walt's 9 old men were his go-to guys for animation. So these were the ones who he relied on heavily for directing animation, producing. One of the guys actually took over all the producing duties after Walt passed away. These are the guys who also went on to mentor the next generation of directors like Tim Burton and stuff too. Brad Bird has put Frank and Ollie into a couple of his movies, like including, I believe they're in The Incredibles, just because, as mentors, they were so important to them. They also taught at Cal Arts, which was it's like the greenhouse of Disney animators. So a lot of them taught lessons there. Mark Davis also mentored some of our current Imagineers too. So it's really nice to be able to pay tribute to them. And then we also have a nice salute to the 9 old men and also other animators. If you guys want to watch that. Also different parts of the animation studio, including ink and paint. We have cork boards, and it features pencil sketches. It includes like their tips, their actual like notes they would give on productions, and personal photographs. So those are located behind the other registers next to our magical movie posters. Yeah, we have a lot of train for obvious reasons, but bus just seemed like the natural fit for a hotel, giving bus tours. And I made it pretty. There's one over there that says explore or adventure through California. We have California Adventure right there. How do you not?
That's true.
One of my favorite graphics is over in Florida. We have the produce codes for all the different things, and so once guests start figuring those out, they'll see nice little nods to the space.
That's in World of Disney?
That's going to be World Disney in Disney Springs.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, definitely the same vibe, but definitely 2 different types of venues to check out. So all the ghost graphics are changed out to fit more that produce story. They really have a zest for it. I was trying to remember like when we started. Stephanie, the producer, and I have been working on different retail stuff since 2012. Just different blue sky concepts that never really went anywhere. And honestly, I can't remember I can't pinpoint when exactly we started working on this together, but it's been, I would say, over a year that she and I have been working, because we started this process of the actual remodel in February, so we were definitely
fun to see it come to life.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I work on a lot of stuff that never gets to see the light of day. So anytime I get to step into a location I worked on is always a treat.
I'm Marianne Sharp, the Director of Global Merchandise Strategy for the parks. It's so great to have you here today. I wanted to first introduce, since I'm from merchandise, our exclusive Mickey Mouse Club collection. I'm sure you've heard about that. We really wanted to take this vintage-inspired collection, but create it with a modern twist. And we really looked at almost everything and how we can elevate it in the quality and in the details of the execution. So I have a couple of little props here. For example, our classic black Mickey ear hat, which you all know about and love. We've actually added an inside print, leader of the club. Again, just looking for all those extra details that we can add. We have, of course, my favorite, the headband, and then even baseball caps, official Mouseketeer. We know our guests love headwear so much. But we also looked at really things for the whole family. So not just apparel, but we've got brand new Mickey and Minnie Mouseketeer plush and home goods and other things. As you walk through the store today, you've started on the other side, I think.
Oh, wait.
So I'm going to walk you through a couple things that you probably already saw. The next big room is our holiday collection, where this is the first store to debut holiday. The name of the collection this year is called Nordic Winter. and it's really the Fab Five and Chippendale celebrating the winter holidays. But what's fun is we really looked at all the great family gift-giving opportunities. We've got the family sleepwear. I don't know if you saw the onesie that we've got. We've got all the family dressing, the ugly sweaters. We've got a brand new glow Jingle Bell necklace, and of course our famous Christmas train that we do every year. So we're very excited about that, and then we'll be adding more garland and decorations as we get into the holiday time period. We then have our princess collection, Dream Big Princess, where we've tried to really elevate and add, allow the little girl be whoever she wants to be, and empower her. We have a 4-pack costume set with 4 different costumes in a wardrobe set. So she can be whoever she wants to be for the day. Then you saw our big t-shirt area. We're super excited about that, with so many different graphics and messaging about your park experience, your attraction, anything you want it to be. Our travel collection with Parks Passport. And then, of course, the first pop-up store here on the West Coast of Disney Style. So if you all are familiar with the Disney Style shop in Orlando, you know we have it here. And that's really for our young adults. That's where we love to listen to all of your guests and your blogs, because that's really where we get our inspiration, is what our guests are telling us. You'll see lots of other fun things in the store. We have impulse tables to make it easier to buy those essentials, as well as a strong Star Wars and Marvel collection. But we've also made it, we hope, easier for the guests to shop. For example, if they want a mug or they want headwear, this is the headwear section, or the toy section. What we love about the design of the store is it's very open. We've lowered the height of the fixtures, and you can see through the store from one end to the next end, which was difficult in the past design. The other thing for merchandise that we love is it's very flexible. So today our projections are all about the Mickey Mouse Club that you can see on the floor projection, but we can change that to whatever the major product story is. And we love that flexibility. So whether through animation on the ear hat or through the projection on the floor, there's all these opportunities for us to really tie the merchandise into the theming, which was much more difficult in the past. We didn't have that kind of flexibility that we do here.
Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie Colvin and I'm a creative producer for Walt Disney Imagineering, and my role in this project was to really oversee all the creative, everything from the story to the show moments, the magic that we're creating, and the layout of the space and the materials that we chose. So these are all posters that the animators would have worked on, and they actually come alive over a few seconds. You just have to, every time you walk through the queue to purchase something, you might see something different. So eventually these will move. Actually, the Dumbo one is moving right now. And then Fantasia should move next. And then we will see a rotation, and a pixie dust wash will come down, and then it'll change to 4 new coasters.
These are beautiful.
Yeah. And you see here the little bit of sound from the pixie dust too. Framed pieces of art that are just scattered throughout the store. We have 4 different areas where this happens. These are pencil tests, actually, that came from the archives. We have about 24 different ones that rotate through that show movement. Do you see the top one move? Yeah? Okay, so these all change over time. I work a lot with Kevin. The two of us will come up with, okay, well, what do we want to say in this space? What is the story that we want to tell? So he went away, came up with this brilliant idea that this was a touring bus garage, and I'm like, that's perfect. We're above the hotel. It just works, right? And then we think, okay, well, how do you tell that backstory with the materials that are chosen with the brick, the wood, you know, the drive aisle to kind of make that feel like that's like the drive aisle of the tour bus too, that would have gone through, and the faded graphics to help tell that story. We really just start pulling all the elements together and combining them and seeing what's missing, what do we need more of, what's too much.